Okay, people, let's do something different. Right now, I'm working on a Skins TV show video, Skins UK video, and it's taking a little bit of time. So, in the meantime, let's do a Cosmere book ranking, but not book itself ranking. I will rank the Cosmere books on its Sanderlanch. The Sanderlanch, for those who don't know, it's the climax of every Sanderson book. Um, so let's rank them today based on that. I have this tier maker list. It doesn't have Wind and Truth, however, it has some of the short novels. And well, I wanted to rank the short novels based on the Sanderlanch that it had. Let's do this. So, as I said earlier, Wind and Truth, I haven't finished it, and the only other book that I haven't um, read yet is The Sunlit Man. So, let's rank every one of them. Let's begin from the beginning. Elantris. So, Elantris, its Sanderlanch is good, but I think it's a little bit rushed. Mm, Especially the part when they suddenly make spoilers for every book in here, basically, where they make TP to the other side of the world, basically. So, let's put it in B. It's okay. Let's continue with Mistborn. Okay, Mistborn. The first one, I like it, but I think that the build up again is a little bit rushed. I mean, Kelsier dies, then we have a short scene where it begins to scale up really high. I think that again, it's a good Sanderlanch, but it's a little bit rushed, especially in its escalation. So let's put it in B. A little over the entries. No, Well of Ascension. Well of Ascension, I'm going to tell you right now, is A. The fact that we are now basically seeing a war between Luthadel, all the perspectives, Doxon, then Clubs, then Team Will, then Says, then Bean, etc. etc. It holds it back a little because Bean and well, the protagonist of the book isn't really present, but it makes up for it with the second climax, kind of, that it's the Well of Ascension scene. So let's put it in A. Hero of Ages. Hero of Ages is an S. Obviously, the build up is incredible. The revelation of all the things that it had been, hinting and planting clues and setting up, etc. I think it's a really good Sanderlanch. All its revelations, the earring thing, Ruin, and the Atium revelation, the final sacrifice, and lastly, that wow, that scene, that ending scene with them sitting, well, resting in the flower field. It's just amazing. I think that it ends a little bit too soon, like it's happening all at once, and then says it reaches for the powers of both shards and creates a new world, and then boom, new world. And the epilogue is just a little bit of sentences before um, the ending scene with Elend and Bean. So let's do this. It's a little bit rushed, but at the end, not at the beginning like this, but let's do this. I think it's as I said, a bit rush at the end. So let's put an in A, let's put the other ones in C. The 11th Metal really doesn't have a Sanderlanch, it's just a book made for the original Mistborn RPG. So the Hollow of Love has a really good Sanderlanch. It's a very Western Sanderlanch, a train robbery, a gunfight, etc. And the revelation of Marasi utilizing her allomantic ability to good use, well, it's really good. However, the book isn't really that long to make a satisfying build up. It's kind of building up to it during the entire book, because it's a mystery, it's a detective novel. But I think it's a B. I know I'm putting Alloy of Lava on top of Mistborn. Stay with me. Again, it's a Sanderlanch ranking. Actually, you know what? Let's put it here. It's still a little bit rushed, the Mistborn Sanderlanch, as I said. But Alloy of Lao, even though it's little short, the entire book kind of builds to it, because again, it's a detective novel and the climax is the end of this mystery. So Almancer Jack again doesn't really have it has a climax, but it's just I don't have much to say. Shadows of Self, however, I have a lot to say about Shadows of Self. The book itself is a little bit repetitive, it's a little bit, I don't know, it's like walking to one side of Elendel to the other and searching clues, which I like, but again, it's not that good. I prefer it over Alloy of La. I have to say that I think it's a little bit of a debate in the community. Either Shadow of Self better or worse than Alloy of Law. But for now, I think the Sanderlanch is really good, but just for the end of it, the conclusion of the Sanderlanch. Because what I think about Shadows of Self, I think about not the end fight itself, but, well, the finishing of that fight and how it affects Wax and its character and how it's building him up to be the sword of harmony. So I think it's going to be high B. I think it's going to be high B just because of that scene and because how it's constructed. Especially the ending scene with Steris is really, really, really lovely, and I cried myself in that scene. So let's make that. Brands of Morning. It's a really good Sanderlanch. It's a really, really good Sanderlanch. I think it's a really, really good Sanderlanch with Wax grabbing the Brands of Morning and that moment when he thinks so fast that the dialogue of Sui cut short and then resumes after Wax is thinking so hard. I really like that scene. Yeah, I liked it. The revelation of Wax's sister being evil. Um, I kind of saw it coming, but that's a good thing. It doesn't come from nowhere. Secret History, Mistborn Secret History. I'm sorry. It's too good. Reading it, after reading all of Mistborn and beginning to expand this comprehension of the Cosmere, and then the scene when Bean and Kelsier meet each other once again, it's so I teared up so much reading that scene. Oh my god, it was hard to read, frankly. Wow, I it's amazing. The Lost Metal is basically a Sanderlanch for the entirety of the book. Once the story gets moving, it's a non-stop. It's literally a non-stop. And the little moments with Steris, with Marasi, Wayne's death, it's so good. It's so good. I think it's right here. Right here. It's a little less. Actually, seeing that it has so many epilogues, ending all of the characters and telling us where they are after Wayne's death and the changing of this world, I think that for the quantity of epilogues, it bump it up to S tier. Hope of Elantris. Actually, this is a really good story. This is a really freaking good story because it shows us from a different perspective the raid of Elantris. It's showing it to us from a perspective of someone that is enthralled and that has fears, that was already a character in the original Elantris, and I really felt that little story. I really like it, and it's building up to it. It's building to the, oh, is she going to become an Elantrian before she gets killed? Is she gonna fight? Is she gonna fight back? It's a really good short story. It's still a B. I'm going to reorganize this a little bit. Nah, it's good. Yeah. I like it. It's good. I mean it's short, but it's building up to something at the climax. It's good. Emperor Souls is an A. Seeing finally this setup of Shy being able to change herself to be more skilled in something, it's really good. And being a short novel again is the entirety of the short novel is building up to, well, the climax, but in a really fun way because it's so tense, like being in Shy's shoes and being the blood seal and trying to figure out how to break it, how to get out of the situation, and then using the thing that Shy has been built up to do is really good, and the action is really good. Um, Again, it's a short novel. It's a little bit short. It's a little bit too much frenetic sometimes, but I think it's a good Sanderlanch. Warbreaker. I had a fun time with Warbreaker, but again, as early Sanderson book goes, it's a little bit too much of a quick escalation. I like Sanderlanches that has a rather slow escalation because it doesn't have that much of a whiplash. I think Warbreaker has a slower build up than Mistborn, but it's still quite. Deneth is the villain, and Basher was the good guy all alone in the full raid in the castle. But it still has the moments with Basher and Darren. It still has the Vivena action scenes. It's still good, and the revelation of the Dos Azules. I'm sorry, I read that book in Spanish, but the Dos Azules, the man that actually controlled the kingdom, it was good. Sixth of the Dusk. I think it's a C. I like the story, but it doesn't have a moment that screams Sanderlanch. I mean, the final room to the beach, it's a good climax, but it isn't that much of a Sanderlanch. A Sanderlanch is not just a climax, it's the combination of all the elements in the books exploding in a massive way. And yes, this has the setup of the trees and the aviaries, but it's okay. But it's a good climax, but it's not that much of a Sanderlanch. Shadows. Controversial opinion. I really like this story. in general, I really like Treno, and this story really spoke to me. I don't know why, but the final scene when she's saving her daughter, it's a small climax, but it's a good culmination of Silence character. And I think the scene itself is pretty good, it's pretty tense, it's pretty scary. Although it resolves itself a little bit abruptly, but it's still good. I think I'm going to put it a little, a little, a little edge on top of Shadows of Self. Wiseand, I haven't read Wiseand, I'm waiting for the prose release. Arcanum Unlimited Essays, that doesn't really count, so let's begin with the Stormlight Archive. This is going to be difficult. Let's start with let's start with the short stories. Each dancer, I think it has a pretty good Sanderlanch. It builds up to the stumps and it builds up to Nail and its realization that the Everstorm is now here. There's nothing that he can do. It's really good. I liked the chaos that it conveys, like the people reacting in a seer to the Everstorm. It's really good. Downshard, I think it has a little bit of a lesser Sunderland because the main crux of the book it's really the revelation of what a Downshard is, how Reason obtains her Downshard, how it implies the Adonalsium dividing 4 times and then those fourths being divided 4 times and then making it 16. It's really good. However, the action by example it's not as attracting to me. Sometimes I got a little lost in what the big chitty like how it attacks, how it moves. However, the little moment with Lopen was really good, so I'm bump it up a little bit. Okay, let's begin. Okay, The Way of Kings. I think that this is an A because it's a little bit drawn out. Obviously, the moment of the second oath of Kaladin, it's amazing, one of the best moments in this book, and in the Stormlight Archive, even in the Cosmere, frankly. Yeah, let's put it there. It's a little bit drawn out with the Shonai fight in the middle of it, and then the confrontation with Sadie's. Let's put it there. Let's put it there. It gets way better. I mean, Words of Radiance is the definition of a Sanderlanch. It starts building up with the Narak march, with Kaladin going to save Elokar. It starts building up, and then it explodes with the Everstorm, with Kaladin's third out, and that scene is pure anime. That scene is an anime. It's a shonen anime. It's an eketsu shonen anime. Literally, you can picture it in your head how you can make an anime scene, an anime power-up scene with that chapter. It's really good. Now for Oathbringer. I think I think it's there. It's there because again it's a little bit drawn out, but it has a little bit of more of a justification. It's a war after all. And given that, the moment of you cannot have my pain, the moment of Kaladin don't wanting to accept his fourth ideal, the Shalom moment, Jasna's moment, the Lift moments, Seth moments. It's all these little vignettes that we have with all those characters. It really puts a spotlight in basically all of them, letting them have their moment, and of course, finally seeing Amaranth being obliterated. It's really good. So yeah, actually, it kind of pains me, but yeah, I'm sorry. I really like Rhythm of War climax. I think it's one of the strongest ones actually. The thing is that the book doesn't accompany that, and yeah, yes, I said that I won't be ranking the books themselves. However, the Sanderlanches strive in setup, and if that setup is incredibly laid up, it's a little bit difficult to care that much of a climax. And Rhythm of War does have a lot of setup. However, it feels a bit weak, principally because the flashbacks on this book it's about Eshonai and Bentley. And yes, I know that we already told a lot about the singer culture, well, the listener culture, but I think that we should have a little bit more of Bentley participating. I have not read, I am right now at the end of part, well, day 3 on Wind and Truth. I don't know if Bentley is going to have a more significant role, but in Rhythm of War, seeing that it's her book, should have a little bit of more involvement in the Sanderlanch. Yeah, and she does, she has involvement, but it's really Navani for one side and then Kaladin for the other, centric Sanderlanch, and moments that that chapter is so good, the fourth ideal is so good, but it still takes it back a little bit. I think it's a little bit better than Oathbringer, because again Oathbringer is a little bit drawn out, and seeing that you cannot have my pain is the definite climax. There's a battle afterwards, and it's, I don't know, I think it undermines that moment having it at the middle of the fight. I understand why it is, but having then a chapter of, I don't know if it was like 54 minutes in Kindle, but it was long, and having it after the moment of Dalinar and not having Dalinar that much present after You Cannot Have My Pain, I think it undermines that incredible moment in the Sanderlanch. So Rhythm of War takes a little bit of the edge over Oathbringer. Dress of the Emerald Sea, it's an A, it's cool. Again, it's a little bit rushed, like after they enter the Sorcerer Tower and the fight itself begins, the fight is a little bit too short. I get that's Hoyt, and well, Hoyt is Hoyt, and it shouldn't take long for him to take out the sorcerer really quickly. I think Sanderson could do a little more, like making another win condition for that situation, just to make it a little bit longer, and I don't know, like making Tress a more active participant in this book at the end in her Sanderlanch. So yeah, it's an S. Yumi is another A. The incredible revelation of this place being the Yumi side of the world being basically an illusion, the twist on your name, it's really freaking good. I really like it. I think it has a little bit of the problem of Hero of Ages, seeing that it wraps up a little bit too quickly, and the Yumi revival is a little bit too quick. Also, I think we could have a little bit of a drawn out moment to mourn her death. But yeah, that's basically it. I will probably talk in this channel about um, Wind and Truth when I finish it, and also, well, the Sunlit Man when I finish it. Yes, I'm going to read Wind and Truth before I'm going to make a read for Sunlit Man. I hope it isn't that much of a problem, but we'll see. I have read some chapters of Sunlit Man, but not that many. I know that I know who the protagonist of Sunlit Man is, and I think it kind of adds to the tense feeling that I'm having right now in Wind and Truth, knowing that Six Seals part of the story is probably going to end badly for him and for me. But yeah, not more rambling, because for from past experiences I could talk for hours about the Cosmere. So I'm going to cut it right here. If you liked the video, even though it was a little bit of a ramble, a little bit of an improvised video, put a like on it, and yeah. If you want more from, make sure to watch my other videos. I have one on Spider-Man No Way Home, a not so positive video, and I have a Shin Megami Tensei retarling video. If you don't know, Shin Megami Tensei is the franchise from where the Persona games come from. So yeah, with nothing more to say, goodbye y adios.